All right.
And this is number 3 of our interview series. Here I have Mr. Aggron. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Yeah. So I'm AwesomeAggron. I've been playing in the competitive Catan online space for roughly 3.5 years now. Started in Catan Champs, then worked my way into King of Catan. Played in both Proven Competitors League and Premier League, and have a good bit of over-the-board experience as well at this point.
Yeah. So how many years total? How many years total would you say you've been playing? Just for
So that's kind of a rough number to get, because I probably played once when I was really young with my cousins at, my cousin's place.
Yeah.
But then throughout college, I played it with my college friend group a lot. Like once per week, we would just take out the Catan board and just run it, and it just became like a thing.
Okay.
We'd also play drunk games as well. So that was fun.
Yeah. So you would say then, like, probably a lot longer casually, but how long would you say you've been playing, I guess, on the competitive side?
Competitively, 3.5 years. Casually plus competitive, I'd argue 4 to 5 years.
Yeah. You were very similar to me, where we placed pretty high in the seeds, but not quite there to the top 16 cut. Just curious on your...
Didn't quite make the cut.
No, tough tiebreakers. I'm curious, though, as to how your preliminary experience went. How did you think about it?
So my preliminary experience was overall pretty good. Table-wise, I think I only paired up with 2 people I knew, which is pretty good odds all in all in terms of randoms versus people you know.
For sure. Yeah, if you don't mind me asking, who did you pair up with?
I paired up with Andrew in round 4. Andrew Scott. And then the other person I knew I didn't really know him at the time, but I knew him through YouTube, Chris Catan.
Oh, okay. No, that's pretty cool. I've yet to play with him. I've been definitely wanting to get a game in. So you played round 4 with Andrew. I'm assuming you won that game.
I did.
Yeah.
And then Chris Catan was in round 1.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So those were the only games where I knew people going into it.
No, for sure. And just so the audience kind of knows, going into this event, we had 150 people, and I think 50 of them were in the online scene, but you would probably say closer to 30 to 40 or more active players. But
yeah, it was a lot.
Yeah.
40% of the event was online players this year.
Yeah. No, it's cool. Yeah, absolutely. And getting everyone to go into one spot, I know that's probably going to change in the future. So going into nationals, I think this was your first year, right?
Yes, it was.
Yeah. I guess tell us about your journey and kind of what got you there.
Yeah, sure. I could explain my journey. I banged my head, made multiple finals, and one of my second place finishes first couldn't go. So I got the spot. I was one of those charity case type of things. Listen. I've yet to win a qualifier, but it's definitely on my bucket list. So it will happen.
But then this is not as an intent to disrespect you, but how many qualifiers have you played in? Just so people
in December 2022, or do you want just for this season?
Let's see, or whatever you feel comfortable sharing. It's not.
So I'll share both. This season I played in 12 qualifiers. Most of them in the East Coast. One of them was in Texas, but it was flying in to visit Navid. We went to San Antonio and played at a tournament. Well, I played the tournament there because he qualified the week before. We were actually both planning to play there, but he qualified the week before, so it was probably a good thing he qualified, actually. He really got to help out the host and make sure the tournament ran smoothly.
No, he's a really cool guy. He definitely knows a lot about the organization aspect of things.
Oh, absolutely. for sure.
So,
so 12 this season, and then 32 total since December 2022.
Okay. No, that's a consistent grind. One thing that I'm trying to aim for is like a bucket list thing of mine is I'm trying to get the most unique state like tournament qualifiers. So the Ian and Dylan Delighted hold the record of 5 right now, I believe, or it's something like that. But
I might be up there, maybe.
Yeah. How many unique states have you played in? Out of curiosity.
Qualifiers all over. Obviously, New York, Easton, Pennsylvania. So I've done Pennsylvania. I've done Maryland. I've done Massachusetts. I've done New Jersey. The once in a blue moon New Jersey qualifier. And I've done Texas. I think.
And yeah, no. So you definitely travel more. Well, like me, you travel a lot for these tournaments. I would say, I guess one of my questions would
be there. Yeah.
Yeah. What experience, I guess, would you say? I don't know, like what state or what area do you feel the most comfortable in, or what would you say the differences are between playing in all these different states?
Generally, I do think playing in the Northeast is harder. Every time I have went to a qualifier elsewhere outside Northeast, I made final table. So maybe there's some correlation there. Could have just been I got lucky and it's a small sample size, but
no,
maybe there's a correlation there. Northeast qualifiers are definitely known to be difficult. I've participated in 10 Brooklyns, made semifinals in 5 of them. Still have yet to make a final table at Brooklyn. So, and then I've also participated in a couple of heavy Boston qualifiers as well. Those definitely rack up in numbers these days. I
love the shirt, and I was hoping you could share a little bit of the story behind that.
Yeah. So Andrew Scott this year was like, let's get jerseys. So he banded together design. We picked the design, made sure the design was good for each of us. We talked about it in the WhatsApp group. And I think the jerseys were made by a creator on Etsy. So that's really cool.
That's really cool. You guys are supporting like someone kind of local. I say we, but Ian, who is our main pillar in Washington State, he got all of us a Super Sheeps shirt.
Yeah.
We had
the Super Sheep
gang. Yeah. So if you looked at the pictures at the event and you noticed that mint green, it was such a cool color choice because you can see us on all the different tables. And
for sure.
I think there was 12 of each of us, right, in unique shirts.
Yeah, I believe there were 12 NYC representatives wearing the jerseys. So,
and you didn't get any of them in any of your prelim games because I've heard that a few of them got one
Andrew,
and 2
Andrew.
each. Oh yeah, you did get Andrew. Yeah. No, that I got one of mine too in round 3, and it was unfortunate for us, but it happens.
Yeah, absolutely.
No, that's so cool though, and now with the whole regional thing, we're gonna have the west side and the east side, so it's even gonna be more of a competition.
Maybe maybe there will be like regional t-shirts even. That'd be interesting.
Representing the different
at nationals and you see somebody with a shirt representing east, you see somebody with a shirt representing west. Could be cool. Food for thought.
I always thought that was a nice thing. Like Studios tries to personalize your name badge. I don't know if a lot of people know this, but it has a flag, and you can choose your home state and then choose the state that you qualified in. For most people, it's the same state, but for me, I had the Hawaii flag, and then I had a little Washington, Seattle on there. But
okay, I mean, the qualifier I represented was in Maryland, so I actually didn't know that. I didn't notice that.
I think it was sent in the email where like they ask questions if you want to like customize anything, but I digress. It's so given that you were very close, you were what, a point or 2 off top cut? I think cut was 36.
Yeah, I believe I was a point off top cut. I ended 2 wins, 35 points.
Yeah. 36 was the cut this year. What would you say went wrong, or what would you wish you had done differently? I think that's
I think probably where it all went wrong was that first game.
First game.
Looking back on it, I'm not sure if I could have done anything too differently. The table seemed very self-reserved, very not like wanting to like cooperate and rebalance. They were just like rolling the dice. We're gonna see what happens. Maybe it was like first game syndrome at nationals type of thing.
Everyone's not locked in.
I'm honestly not sure. I also probably have the get cucked record at nationals. I lost 18 cards to the 7 in my first 10 minutes of playing at the tournament.
Yeah.
So that was pretty rough.
Did Chris end up winning that game, or did someone else on the table
No. Funnily enough, the dude that won my first game, I played him again in round 4.
Really?
Because of the reseeding. So, you got to play repeats in round 4 because of the reseeding.
That is one of my biggest nightmares. Like, it's already a thing online, like playing a game and then repeating a game to someone you lost or won against. I'm sure that was a little bit of a hard.
No, honestly, I didn't mind. Like, the dude was chill. I actually hung out with him a lot after the tournament.
Okay, good.
Bush online. So, who knows? We might see him play online now. No, but yeah, dude's really chill. It was just a situation where in the first game couldn't get the table to cooperate to actually slow him down, so just didn't have enough time to get the points down.
No, I mean it happens for sure. It's not. A lot of people like with the timer too. A lot of people are playing quicker than they normally otherwise would. I know at least for me and over the board games without clocks, I try to like take as much time as possible thinking out my turns, but the clock added a kind of a new feature that no one was really familiar with. Actually, that brings me to a separate question. I think you played in an event where they prototyped the clock, right? Or was that?
I did. One of the Brooklyn qualifiers, they had the timers, but they were only at specific tables.
Yeah,
I don't recall being at one of those tables.
I think
so
did not did they ask for volunteers out of curiosity?
No, it was just like random 4 tables at the qualifier. You would, use the timer.
Because I think
I was not at those tables.
Yeah, that event you guys had, and then we actually the one in Seattle, Washington, OrcaCon, they had one table tested. So I think we were like the first 2 qualifiers that ever used that hypothetical turn timer.
Okay.
What would you say you liked or didn't like about it?
I think the timer, functionality wise, works not so well. It did break a couple of times during our games. I think in 2 of my 4 games, it like broke multiple times, probably aiding to people's time banks unnecessarily. I think the concept of it is good. I think they just gotta work on the software and the communication. Maybe it was because they had 40 plus iPads running at the same time with the same app under the same internet and network, and that was the reason for the functionality issues.
From my understanding, and this is what studios said at the event, I think the venue in general and the event was great. The biggest issue was that the hotel did not give them access to the Wi-Fi. So they're using, I believe, the guest Wi-Fi, and we're in like a basement level. So that caused issues with, I think, the tech side and the stream side of the semis and finals, which was unfortunately...
that's something I was not aware of.
Yeah, I overheard there was like a disconnect with something related to that. So it's hard to know if it was...
I guess that makes perfect sense. Generally, everyone at the table was pretty chill about the whole timer thing. It's like if it eats into somebody's bank accidentally, they're like, oh, we'll just give you an extra minute at some point. Like, it's fine.
Yeah. I asked this to Naveed. Did you ever have a situation where someone wanted to call a judge or did call a judge or had like a weird ruling incident? Because I know with tournaments, like people sometimes look at situations differently.
I called a judge in game 2. That was easily my most heated game at Nationals. I called the judge once. So it was weird because like I was talking about like where someone wants to put the robber I was playing with this girl named Sylvia. Really nice person, by the way. It's just one of those things where it's like, I was talking to her, like, where to place the robber, and I said, well, what do you want? And then she said a resource, and I'm like, wait a minute, judge. and then I managed to get the judge ruling for her to place on the desert because she spoke that resource.
Oh, man.
I wasn't trying to bait it out of her. I just naturally said, well, what do you want? I wasn't even trying to, like, bait that action.
I'm sure she wasn't happy with that.
No, she wasn't, but I was going to take advantage of it.
Yeah.
I wasn't trying to get that reaction out of her, though.
There's always a balance. I had a similar situation in my round 3 game where it's like, do you want to play the rule to get a slight edge, but then kill the table vibe a little bit? You know, it's like, all these decisions.
I think round 2, I was a bit more uptight because I knew that I needed to win this game to continue in the tournament, right?
Yeah, my round 2 was very similar. We got kind of blown out of the water.
Yeah, because I ended on 6 points in my first game. I knew mathematically, if I don't win the rest of my games, I'm out of the tournament.
Yep.
Which is a tough pill to swallow. I told myself going into it that I would be okay going 0-3, but unfortunately, I'm just a little too competitive and serious about this, where I don't know if I would have been okay. So I'm not sure if you heard what happened in my second game. I think you did, because you.
I did. It's whatever you feel comfortable sharing. I didn't want to put it on blast.
Nah, it's cool. All I'll say is sometimes it's better to walk away and regroup. That's all I'm going to say. Yep. I don't recommend it normally, but if things are getting to the point where you feel your emotions rising, I think it's best to handle it privately than to put it full blast at the table.
That's a good piece of advice, and it's something that a player utilized in one of my rounds as well, because I I did something that was the only nice way to say is I scammed them with a trade.
No, for me it wasn't even like a scamming thing. The guy across from me kept hitting our 9 wheat. Me and Katie's 9 wheat. I was playing with Katie Alex on that game.
Oh, I love Katie Alex. Yeah.
She's chill. She's also really nice. But yeah, he kept hitting our 9 wheat, and Sylvia was in a pretty good lead. She had a window to double play at that time. So the first couple of times he hits the 9 wheat, I'm like, okay, share block, whatever. But then each time he would ask for a wheat trade. I'm like, you just block the 9 wheat. What do you mean? It's my only wheat hex. Like, I'm just thinking that in my head. I'm like, yeah, no, I don't want to trade you wheat. And then he proceeded to block the 9 wheat 4 times. I'm on 4 points. Sylvia still, in a pretty demanding lead, has the window to double play, is really close to double playing. I think if she rolls like a 6 or 10, or I don't remember exactly what it was, but like, if she hit a certain roll, she could have just won the game that turn. Yeah. So my blood was starting to boil, right? Because this dude just couldn't get the message that we were not the target at the given time. It is what it is.
I'm assuming
I totally get it. It's a game of perspective.
No, I was just gonna say, I'm assuming he played or wheat sheep or devs, or did he just get lucky with 7 rolls?
No. He was playing or wheat sheep. He was playing, I think it was the 5-6-10 and the 8-3. Yeah. He played that in the 4th. So he went 8-3, 5-6-10.
So something that I talk about regularly with Drew is kind of how, like, the player that plays or wheat sheep needs to have the strongest fundamentals on the table, because they control most of the balance majority of the time. So it's kind of...
I mean, I'm not going to say the guy played badly. Again, it's a game of perspective. I'm going to put it as, I think after the second time, I think there was a very obvious target, and he didn't want to cooperate with the table to take down said target. Yeah.
It makes sense. So some people were playing for second in certain games in certain rounds. And
sure.
It throws an interesting dynamic.
To be fair, that game did end 10-9-9-9, so like it was still a great game. It definitely evened out.
Yeah, you guys did manage to swing the balance back then. That's good.
Yeah, I had a 20% chance to win my round 2 game. I had a 17-card hand where I road settled Citied from 7 points, and I also had a dev. And it turned out there was a 1 in 5 chance to pull the VP in hindsight. So
it's so
20% chance for semifinals, you know?
Yeah. No, you said you got 6 in round 1?
Yeah.
So that kind of happened to me in round 2 where there was a point in the game where like me and this other guy had 3 points down and the other two had like 6 or 7. And I'm like, dude, I'm re-explaining this over and over. Like, unless you get 8 points, you need to go 3 and 4 or you're out of the event. So like I was so intense in that game and I feel so terrible because we even like emailed each other about it. Like, about the game and the event, and it was
I definitely feel similarly. Like, I obviously, apologize to Sylvia and Katie after the game, and the other guy too, even if I don't think he deserved the apology. But it is what it is.
No, the feelings get so high and so tense in the moment, and just. For me, I was happy that like after I lost the 3rd game, I could let the emotions sit at that point and not take it into the 4th game. It was kind of
right. That was actually something interesting I experienced. So after round 2, we had lunch. I knew mathematically I was at the tournament. I'm like 6-9. Cutoff's definitely not going to be 235. It's going to be 236 or higher, maybe 237 even. So I'm cooked. That's it. My nationals run is theoretically over. Now, I could have swung it both ways. I could have been petty and pessimistic and, really took it to a point where it's like, man, it really sucks that I'm basically out of the tournament. But I thought of it more as, I'm at nationals, I'm going to play the best Catan I can. So I made sure that for round 3, I kept that mindset going to it. I think round 3, I'm not going to say my table was easy. There's no such thing as an easy table at nationals, but it did help that I didn't know anyone at that table again.
Yeah.
And they seemed a bit more absent-minded because they all also did not have a win. That's actually something interesting I want to bring up. So I felt like round 3 was weird because it's like you have tables where it's like people have wins and then people don't have wins. Yeah. I was on a table where everyone didn't have a win go round 3. So it really felt like no one really cared at that point. They were just there to play Catan, kind of just like fill the seat type of thing. Like they were still playing Catan, but I felt like maybe there wasn't like energy to like try and collude or rebalance.
Would you say that, because this is how I kind of felt for my round 4, would you say that your round 3, you played better almost because like you knew there was no tension?
Because I was mathematically out.
You were already out.
I didn't even maybe. I'm not sure. I did kind of high roll in my 3rd game. It was like a 25-minute game. I went 8-9-12, 5-6-10, and I got the 9-4 expansion with the brick port. So it was a pretty quick game.
Yeah.
Great.
I think so. Now that, I think a lot of it is really mental, but also like the players that you pair with matter a lot too, because some players care about the balancing aspect of the game. Some really don't. And it's interesting because everyone is a qualifier winner, but not everyone plays the game or looks at the game the same. Yeah, it's true. You got me.
Yeah. No, for sure. Funnily enough, first orbit, if the person that placed 5-8-10 that went, I think it was the 4-10-12, if they pointed down, they would have plowed me because they rolled the 8. Yeah. They thankfully pointed right, but I was thinking after that game, like in the back of my head, wow, my nationals tournament could have just like completely ended there. Like just go home 0-3. Because I think if I lose 9-4, I don't think I'm winning that. 9-4, at least not. Like, it would have been a big fight.
The expansion for that spot was very critical. I think it's
that's a huge spot. So I was like blessed when that 8-year-old and he didn't point that. I'm like, oh, thank goodness. Just thinking in the back of my head, like, man, imagine if he pointed down.
Okay, so I'm curious on your perspective of round 4. What position did you play on that board?
I was 4th position on that board.
Me too, and I'm shocked that we both won because I thought that was a very bad board for 4th pick. But
I actually don't fully agree, although I think it might be a little bit difficult for me to comprehend that game in hindsight, because after round 3, I met up with Mary, and she bought me a drink, and I drank too much. I was a little bit in an alcohol comatose during game 4. So there was a little bit cognitive dissonance during the start of game 4.
But it
if I remember the board correctly, I actually don't think that board is bad for 4th. It's actually pretty okay.
Okay. I remember very distinctly the ore wheat sheep spot, or excuse me, the ore wheat spot for 1st. Yep. Yeah, it was like, oh my gosh, like.
I do like that spot, but I think you have to be wary because everyone's targeting that 6 ore. If you expand on the 6 ore, it's the same thing. It then becomes a shared block, and it's still getting targeted. It's just a very targeted hex, and that actually played a key role in my game because I blocked probably close to 30 ore off of that 6.
That's crazy. So like overrolled, but it was always hit.
The 6 rolled 5 times in a row, and it was all when the robber was on it.
Yeah.
So I was collecting my brick, and they were oreless.
Oh, you got on the 6 brick hex. That's yeah.
Correct.
Okay.
I had the 5, 8, 11, 6, 3, 11. And I built into the 6, 10, 12, and the 3, 10.
I think I also actually, so you were playing on the sheep with the 11 and the correct. Yeah, that's what I did. I thought that was my only way to win, but I actually really liked the center of that board with the wood and the brick because of the wood port brick port right next to each other. I thought that was really versatile.
I wanted to find a way to make that work, but with the way the board already placed out, I didn't really see a world where 4, 5, 10 pairs with anything.
I'm trying to remember if it was a 5-10 or a 4-10 on the port, but 1st was considering taking it because it was like because it was like a situation where like they took the ore and the wheat and they're like, oh, I can just do a road settle and start with the wood brick, and it's like but he ended up locking the middle of the board, and it was kind of weird because of the amount of devs that were being played and the order they were played in, but.
No, for sure. But yeah, that game was interesting. Obviously, I don't remember much of the actual dialogue that occurred in the game. I know 2 things that happened in that game. Andrew told me at the start of the game, Aggron, I love you, but I don't trust you with the timer in this current state. Pulled the timer button away from me. I'm like completely fair. I was just thinking that in the back of my head. So that was one thing that I remembered. And then the other thing that I remembered was the girl sitting next to Andrew. They had a conversation at the start, like how Andrew's table talk was like aggressive. Like this girl found Andrew's table talk a little aggressive
in the beginning.
Sometimes, yeah. Like before the game even started, she was like, "I want to let you know that I've seen your games. I know how you play. I don't want to cause any issues, but I do think your table talk is a little demeaning and aggressive." Which I don't see Andrew that way. So I don't fully understand that disconnect, but he was like, I understand, I respect your wishes, and I'll tone it down. And it seemed to like it's difficult to explain. It seemed to like drive like this weird dissonance between the two, where it was like Andrew was trying to play more cautiously. Like he knew that his top 16 spot was on the line, but he was trying to respect this girl's wishes. And it felt like the girl was still targeting him throughout most of, if not the whole game. So that's probably why I won.
It's interesting though, because correct me if I'm wrong, Andrew has never made more than top 16, like as a I think he's made top 16 3 or 4 times, but for her to recognize him as a player, she must either be local or someone from the online scene, I would assume. But
if I remember correctly, she said that she's in the Boston area.
There you go.
So maybe she visited a tournament.
It also, yeah, because I could see that, because Andrew is also an organizer. So as someone that is also an organizer, you do sometimes have to give off that kind of aggressive, like, tone.
Yeah.
Right?
It's the superiority. Like, I have the control.
Right.
I make decisions.
Yeah. So I could see that. But Andrew's a really nice guy, and
very nice guy.
I love his style. He's a really good dude.
Absolutely.
So I guess kind of a couple more questions before we close out. What was your favorite part of Nationals overall?
By far, it was getting to meet people and hang out. I think that was definitely the highlight. I met a bunch of people that I wouldn't have gotten to meet otherwise. Goat Jungle, Atik, awesome dude. Rodog, dude. Oh my god, dude, I love that. Harv, Harv was sick to meet. Shazzy, and then just like hang out with a bunch of East Coast people, how you usually do.
Yeah,
I felt like I definitely met a lot of people, but it was difficult to like find time to like hang out with everybody. Right?
Yeah,
everybody was sort of doing their own thing. It was maybe a little bit difficult to like organize that, maybe a little bit, but I definitely still tried my best to like reach out and hang out with as many people as possible. One person that I did miss out on, and I'm a little upset about it, is Hawkeye. I don't know who Hawkeye is still. I don't know what he looks like. I don't even know his name, but that's okay. I guess that's it's like the one person that I failed to meet.
Have you ever DM'd him on Discord or anything before?
I've played him in countless 1v1s. I've probably shot him a DM here and or there. I don't think we've ever like had like a private conversation though.
I'm sure he'll be at another event. He's been at Nationals, I think, 4 times in a row now, so he'll probably come.
No, yeah, absolutely. He's just like one of those people where it's like, I know he's a great guy. I know he's a good player. I just like never really, associated with him.
Yeah, the ghost celebrity status,
Yeah, kinda. Because it's like when I first started competitive Catan, I obviously went down the Delighted rabbit hole. I watched all of Delighted's videos. Hawkeye guest starred in a lot of them. Well, I'm not going to say a lot of them, but like Hawkeye had like that series where they played for like $500. I think it was like him, Ian, Delighted, and somebody else. I forget.
Yeah, the whole reason that started was because they actually both originated in Texas for all of their qualifiers. So Hawkeye was like top of the Catan Universe leaderboard before Colonists became a thing. Yeah.
No, but yeah, definitely the highlight of National, meeting everybody. I don't think I would have it any other way. That is by far the highlight, and it's definitely going to be a little sad that we're going to potentially miss out on that experience if the new format changes.
No, I definitely agree with you. Well, do you have any pieces of advice for future Catan players out there?
I think all I'll say on that is, keep your fundamentals strong. Social game definitely matters a lot. Stay composed. That's something that I struggle with sometimes, but I'm actively trying to improve.
Hey, absolutely. Great words of advice. Thank you very much for tuning in today, Aaron, and I had fun.
Of course. Same here.
Alrighty. Catch you later.